wasted time. Let's waste some time together.
Hi guys and welcome to today's video. My name is Josh aka aka Beetlejuice on the server Don. So let me get back my mount and here's a question for you. Don't worry, nothing serious, just a quick question. What do you think about these stats? Are these stats with an Imperial BT ring? Or are these stats with an Imperial BT ring? You decide, you vote on that, okay? Today's video is about what happens when you replace an item, which is eventually from a 2013 boss, with a very much nowadays new kind of endgame era boss called Blathorn. So what do we have here? Essentially, in my inventory right now, we do have 2 rings, right? Maybe 3 rings of the same type. So we have dagger rings here, right? We got 2 godly ones and 1 Imperial Bloodleaf Man, right? Let's take a look at the stats for just a minute here. You got strength versus dexterity. You got vitality and vitality. You got dagger versus dagger. So both of these add dagger and vitality, but only one of them adds strength, right? And for you to go ahead like, oh, this is 800 shadow strike damage, is so fucking OP. Use this one. Use it. Bullshit. So let me tell you why it's bullshit first. So, logic. Let's talk about logic. And no, I don't mean the very much really good rapper, which was eventually I think a SoundCloud rapper back then called Logic, which is one of my favorite rappers in the rap game. But let's take a look at logic for the Shadow Strike skill. So, it's the best example. Most bosses will avoid Shadow Strike or evade it, or just don't even take much damage off. That is why having an add-on on this ring, it's like, oh, this is a Shadow Strike add-on, 800 damage, so OP, it's bullshit. So it just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. It doesn't come into play for anything else, maybe farming a little bit, or doing whatever, PvP shit or whatever. I would like to have a sneaky one instead, which is a little bit better. It's just overall better, not a little bit, just better. What do we have here is, and then let me just clear this up for you. This is the build without the BT ring, right? You got 4.786, right? And with the ring, you got 4.72, right? It's less damage, it's just a little bit more attack. Attack comes from the dagger skill and the dexterity on this one. It doesn't really matter, it's not much, right? It's just not much, but it's not worth the hustle. And now, technically speaking, if we go to any other boss than the normal one, so say the Hutu, if you go to the Hutu boss, right? We would change these out and we would actually get rid of this and just use, say, a 200 strength main ring. So the damage, and again, let me just sum this up for you because stuff falls away. So because this is not damage that's being added to Dino. It doesn't matter for Dino. It also doesn't matter if you farm. Normal mobs don't take divine damage. So we would now have a 4.781 with the 2 godly rings, which would boost out a lot of DPS and make us fucking OP and all that shit on Baras and all that blah blah. So let me just do this because it's kind of cringe not having the base attack above 10k. So this is what we got now, right? So we got that shit now because this is also it's our strength, so let's go to that. So let's take that into consideration. We've that equipped now. Now we go ahead and do this. And what you can see here is we get just a little bit more attack and still less damage, and that is just not worth it. Same for the HP. You see, not much changes there. If we remove this, you can kind of see it yourself, nothing much, just about 400, maybe 420 something HP goes away. I didn't do the math, I just memory looked at it. So it doesn't matter that much, right? It just doesn't matter. Now here's the question, here's the really valid question. Why would anybody use these rings over, say, these rings? The answer is pretty simple, because these rings, the godly ones, they don't really drop that often. Most servers are happy to have around roughly less than a handful of these, total. Right? You don't see a rogue around with 3 of these. It's just not happening on the game. It's most likely gonna have, and I think I'm the only one in my or my server running around with 2 godly dagger rings. Right? So it's just special. You're just a fucking special guy, and that makes you a better human after all. No, I'm just playing. It doesn't. It just makes you a better player after all if you know how to use it, but not a better human, or maybe I don't know. So bear with me here. But one thing to use these things in combination with would, for example, be this helmet, which then again it will make sense because we have dexterity on this one as well. So maybe, and if nowadays You had a bad main hand that's still kind of good at some bosses, because if you don't care for 500 attack more that much, you can still do a lot of damage with this shtick, and it's not bad. So you have dexterity on this one as well, so if you would pair all these, you would pretty much get a cool output on dexterity skills, which would eventually help you make a good DPS support hybrid kind of build, which is, in my opinion, just plain bullshit and doesn't work. But some people will pull it off, and it's impressive. It's just impressive what you guys are pulling off. Okay, let's talk about attack for a minute. Okay, attack. So all the items you got here add attack, pretty much all of them. So attack, this one adds attack, this one adds attack, this thing adds attack. And if we use this one now as a main ring, this one also adds attack. This thing adds attack. Why does it add attack? Dr. Exy doesn't say attack because this is dagger. Dagger adds attack and damage. Right? It's the ability that dagger is running on. So makes sense. So these two things add attack because they add dagger, which means all of this adds attack. Then let's take a look at the armor attack. This one then again adds defense. Right? And this one will add attack. Same as this one is getting defense. So it's just you got 1200 attack on this one, you got a 900 attack on this one, and you also got all the attack on all that shit, and then you got your abilities paired with the with Reaper Ring, makes for a completely ridiculous OP amount of attack in your build. And trust me boys, you don't need anything above 10k, it doesn't matter, bosses just doesn't fucking matter. It's just fictional and makes you think you need more because all the people put out screenshots of builds that have 100k attack and you're like, yo, what the fuck, and then more attack and then more attack. It's bullshit, boys. Same thing as for Rogue, right? You don't need much more damage to be efficient, right? Rogue is a little bit of burst DPS, right? You just pull out DPS, melee DPS. And then you have some cool skills like Sneaky and Epic Strike, eventually Rend and Double Attack, which you can pair that with. What you don't need to have 10k base attack in like some crazy rangers do or warriors do or whatever. You don't need that. You still will get the kill over these guys anytime, right? At any boss that suits a melee killer, anyways. But you will still get the kills over these guys, which still shows you, I'm doing good. I'm doing more DPS overall. Technically speaking, whoever gets the kill does the most DPS in the group, and I don't mean by using Baros or anything, but that's just technically what it is. You hit the most, you dealt the most DPS, and most likely you will find it's going to be rogues, sometimes rangers. At BT, most likely going to be druids or mages. And same for Dino boss, it's going to be a mage druid mix. But say for Prot, Calibron, and all the regular ones like Morty, Necro, what was the Hungrier, you have a lot of rogues and rangers will fight for the kills, and most likely rogues going to get them, which is not biased, it's just how it is. It's just how it works. It's just how this game works. It's unfair, I know, but that's what it is. So that's why, and when I requested this ring, which I did actually, I requested this ring when it dropped. So yo, I want to have this ring because I thought like at first I was like, yo, this is a fucking upgrade. Finally a BT ring in range. I want to get a fucking BT ring so bad, so OP, it's so endgame shit. And then I had a little bit of talk with my good friend and rogue guide mentor kind of guy called Paizio, which he was like, yo bro, don't forget that it doesn't add strength, and that's really bad because you're gonna have less DPS. I was like, yo bro, maybe you're right. So I looked over it and tested this ring and I was like, oh, this is garbage. This is actual garbage. So if you would have the chance to get this kind of build, that is good again. That will make for a good DPS build, right? Based on not an anointed ring. So if you can get 3 of these and a Reaper, and you can slash Dino boss or even Hungrier. You don't really need much divine damage for Hungrier. Nowadays, pretty much everybody can just slay off Hungrier pretty easy, so it wouldn't matter. But if you can get a good build going, or you want to get a good build going, do that. It's worth the while. If your clan doesn't need the ring on other tools, you can use it whatever before it goes to waste. One thing, I wouldn't know where to put this ring on. I wouldn't know one guy that would really need this, could need this upgrade from his rings. But that's none of my business. This will go right back to the clan bank. And yeah, it's not for me. So I will patiently wait till there's some sneaky ones, because this is just garbage in my eyes. And my godly rings, which I'm really fortunate having these, they are still better than the Imperial Blood Leaf band of Celtic, which is unfortunate because you think that an item that requires about 25 levels more should do more DPS at the Imperial state than the godly one of a item that requires level 190, but it doesn't. It doesn't. All factors like leveling, abilities, and all that shit left out. It just shouldn't, but it does, and it's great knowing that I have the only 2 OP rings that ever drop here, right? Alright, that's good. So with that being said, see you guys in the next video. So have a nice week, and see you guys in the next one.
Don't take it so serious. Everything in life is a love story. Don't take it so serious. It shouldn't be so scary, it's a fairy tale. Don't take it so serious.